Welcome to the Youth Inquiry and Action Series, brought to you by Innovations for Youth, a research center at the University of California, Berkeley. My name is Elena, and I'm a student at UC Berkeley. In this training video series, we will explore different ways to amplify your voices, hear from your peers, and make positive change in your schools and communities. To hear from your peers and make meaningful change, we can use tools for inquiry. Inquiry is a process of asking questions to uncover answers. Anyone can inquire, including you. In this video series, we'll dive into what it means to use these tools for inquiry. We encourage you to take notes, pause the video, and reflect on the concepts as we go. In our last video, we showed you how to take descriptive and reflective observation notes. This video outlines what to do after you've completed your observation notes. We'll talk you through how you can make sense of what you wrote down during your observations and how you can use what you observed to advocate real change in your schools or community. In this video, you will learn 4 steps to move from inquiry to action. In step 1, we'll talk about how to find patterns in observation notes. Step 2 explores the story behind the patterns, and step 3 provides ideas for identifying who needs to hear about your observations. Lastly, in step 4, we'll talk about sharing your observations in a meaningful way. Let's get started. First, let's begin by revisiting your goals and remember why you set out to do observations in the first place. Take a moment to remind yourself about what you were trying to learn or accomplish from your observations. For example, if your goal was to propose solutions to encourage a welcoming school environment, that goal will help inform your post-observation next steps. Next, organize and start to become familiar with your observation notes. Read through your notes multiple times and jot down some things you're noticing. Once you feel comfortable with the content of your notes, then you can work to identify any big ideas or patterns that are coming up. Pay attention to behaviors, actions, and interactions that repeat. Things that repeat may be important patterns that need to be captured. You might also notice that 2 behaviors or actions occur together, and you can give this co-occurrence a name. You may find big ideas that repeat. You can give this idea a name. This is how you generate a pattern. For example, if you're observing peer-to-peer interactions during class to see how welcoming a classroom environment is, you might count how many times each student spoke and who spoke the most. What about the least? Identifying patterns is a dynamic process that can happen over many reads of your notes and conversations with your teammates. You can always revisit and regroup your notes that make the most sense for your topic. Now that you've identified patterns, it's time to dig a little deeper. Try asking these questions to help you find the story behind the patterns. What might make people act or feel this way? How are these patterns connected to each other? What do these patterns tell us about our school or community? For example, if you're counting observed interactions during class group work, what might it mean that one student isn't speaking up as much as others? What factors may be connected to that? Exploring the story behind your patterns is very important because this story is what you will ultimately share out. Now that you've identified patterns and explored the potential stories underneath them, it's time to share what you've learned and spark conversations that can lead to real change. First, brainstorm potential actions for change around your topic. Ask yourself, what do you want to do with your findings to create impact in your school or community? Next, you can identify who needs to hear about your findings and ideas around your topic. Who are key allies who will support your actions for change? Who needs to learn more about your topic in order to become a supporter? Thinking about whose support is necessary or helpful can help you determine the audience you want. Finally, you can decide how to share the patterns you identified from your observations and proposed action steps. Some possible ways include presenting to teachers or school administrators, writing a report, or creating videos, posters, social media posts, or podcasts so that more people can learn from your observations. You can be creative in deciding how to share what you've discovered based on what resources you have available and who you're sharing with. In this video, we've learned how to find patterns from your observation notes, find a story behind the patterns, and plan to share your findings. Observations can be a powerful tool to create change. Now, it's your turn. Go through your notes, find patterns, and think about how you can share them to make a difference. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out the others in the series to learn about additional methods for inquiry.